baru start lah. Kena bully. Alright. So here we go. So streams up. So basically this is Dota 2 open tournament solve. So we just open up the overlay for the game. So you said sTacks just start off the batting phase first. They ban off Bad Rider. Oh my god. So this is even for the war game, we won't be seeing Bad Rider for this match as well. Right? And it seems for team, this time I have to look at this one, right? So it seems that for Team Impressive itself, they just ban off from Visage. And directly afterwards, they just ban off for Knights itself. Not sure what ASFDSF stand for. ASFDSF. Alright, that's okay, right? So we're still waiting. We're going through the ban and pick phase for both sides. So we're just gonna wait up just a bit, because this is gonna take some time. And for those who just come over to the Low Yat Plaza itself, welcome. Right now, what you're looking at the ground floor, in the middle of the Low Yat Plaza itself, the AMD DotA 2 Open Tournament, where you can see a few AMD booths situated right here in the middle of the Low Yat Plaza itself, where we feature laptops and hardware as well as the equipments of AMD as well as the Razer equipments. You guys can just come down here to have a look at it. And right now we're holding up the match in between Team Impressive versus nAra's. And as it is a tournament, especially when it's called the AMD DotA 2 Open Tournament itself, it's in captain's mode itself, and we're just going to go through with the banning and pick phase for both sides. And coming back into the game, so nAra's just went off banning off on Nyx Assassin. So he doesn't want any ganking going on coming from Bad Rider as well as Nyx right there, right? And since they were the first ones to ban first, so it seems that Team Impressive is the one who's going to go through the pick phase first. It's going to be one. So just picked up the hero on the off lane, Dark's here. And nAra's decides to go on with Weaver. It's going to be off lane, Spool. Alright, and Rubik, right off the bat, is going to be in tri lane. And we're still going to be waiting for the second pick come from Team Impressive itself. You know, I don't know how I interpret from ASFDSF into Impressive, but you know, maybe that's an impressive word come from team. It should be, right? And for this time, we'll be having Team Impressive on the Radiant side, and nAra's is going to be in Dire side. It's going to be interesting indeed. Right, and for those who just right, this is considered as Match D, where the winner will be fighting against Loya.net Esports in the semi-finals tier. Whereas afterwards, we'll be having our semi-finals one in between Team Space Monkeys versus Team Fishball, which will happen right after this match itself. So you guys might want to sit back and watch the match because it's going to be interesting indeed, especially after that big comeback coming on from Fishball, which happened a few hours ago, right? And after picking up Weaver and Rubik right there, Team Preface just went off with Jakira. It's going to be on tri lane. Very nice indeed with Ice Path Dual Breath. Does wonders with those two skills itself. It's got to be magical. How do I say magical itself, right? But it is magical. You have to agree with that because, you know, with proper placements of skills, they can do wonders in the game. With a misplace, you might get hit in the head. Because, you know, you don't want to miss. It's a tournament. You got to make it count, right? And then we have a ban on Outward Destroyer for nAra's. Oh my gosh, I just realized that I pronounced the name wrongly. It's not even Outward Destroyer, it's an Outward Devourer for the whole time. Man, this is bad. It's lowering on the repetitions itself, right? So it's that Outward Devourer was being banned. So basically that goes Outward Devourer itself. It can deal really hard damage, and it really hurts when Astral Imprisonment hits you off, especially when you know what happened just now in between Darkseer and Outward Devourer itself. But despite having this advantage of having being hit by Outward Devourer's Astral Imprisonment itself, Darkseer managed to came out on top using the Soul Ring itself, managed to stay in the lane quite well against Outward Devourer. Right? And it seems that nAra's is banned off on Gyrocopter itself. They didn't want Gyrocopter to be there. It's going to be painful itself, knowing that the kind of heroes that they're going to pick. Alright, and Team Impressive banned off on Fury itself. Wow. I mean, whatever happened before was Fury wasn't even bad, but it wasn't even a picture of the whole game throughout the 3 games they casted even before. So this time, nAra's to speak out, Anti-Mage is going to be the carry for the tri-lane itself. It's going to be, I mean, like, you know, it's always good to have Anti-Mage itself. I mean, for me, I would like the Phantom Lancer, you know, the more the better. Right? So it's going to be anti-mage. Let's see how interesting it's going to be. So, right, it's not easy. Having a mana burn at early stage of the game compared to being a Phantom Lens itself, you have to buy yourself a mana burn item like Diffuser Blade, and it cost is expensive itself. But you know the skill difference for both sides depends on how you use the heroes at the same time. And anti-mage has the capability of blink, which really hurts a lot. You know, you can just blink in, hit, blink it out, blink it in, blink it out, and you know it's always a pain. And having a Mana Void is ulti itself, my god. Magic resistance, that's why it's called anti-mage. You know, it's an anti to a mage. Mage caster skills, it's anti. And he's called Magina for some reason, right? Maybe that's a cool name. Magic negation, Magina. Alright, so we're just waiting for the last pick. Sorry about the third pick coming from Team Impressive. Well, I'm getting used to calling this Team Impressive, right? So just picked out on the catcher, it's gonna be in tri-lane, so Shadow Demon right there. Alright, Shadow Demon up there. It's gonna be Jakiro. It's gonna be easy enough. As Shadow Demon causes disruption itself with Soul Catcher later on. Jakiro can just have a proper placement of the Ice Path right there. It's impossible to miss unless you were not trained to use the Jakiro for Ice Path there, because you need to know, because different levels for disruption itself have different delays for the skill to even initiate itself to open up back. Right? Jakiro's Ice Path had a slight delay, like 0.8 seconds itself to even be cast out to actually pop out from the other head of the Ice Dragon, right? And then dual breath causing slow itself, and it's a good combo itself. Compared to Lina has even more delay than Jakiro's Ice Path itself, right? Worse, finally this time, for the first time in today's match, in the fourth matchup, the appearance of a Magnus in the game itself. So Magnus is gonna be in the mid lane for nAra's sTacks. It's gonna be mid lane for Team nAra's sTacks, and we still haven't seen who's gonna be in mid lane for Team Impressive, and we still don't know who's gonna be the carry for Team Impressive yet also at the same time, right? So we're still looking at what's gonna be missing on Team nAra's sTacks. Here they have a mid. They have the carry itself, they already have support right there, they have offlane, so they're still waiting for one more tri-lane hero is going to be providing support. So since Rubik is going to be one lifting up that hero, you know, lifting up, putting in, placing in, so they should be expecting a stunner right here, right? And that goes Spectre right there, it's going to be serving as a carry for Team Impressive. The scary thing about Spectre is, imagine if a Spectre has a Diffuser Blade, when he shoots ulti, he can mana burn all 5 heroes at the same time, rather than anti-mage have to chase off one by one. Alright, but if Spectre can achieve such wonders itself in the game, but if he can't, you know, things will work out well. You can't expect everything to work out as easy as the club, alright? We're already done with the last banning phase for both sides. nAra's sTacks, knowing that the other team doesn't have a mid hero, they just ban out on Puck, right? Knowing that they don't have a stunner yet for the Trident, so they just ban up on Sand King right off the bat right there. So nAra's sTacks still needs to pick out a hero capable of stunning, disabling, in a way, hexing. So it all depends which one will give them the boost for this game itself, right? This is gonna be quite interesting. And who will it be? And they decided to go with Earthshaker right here. This is gonna be nice. It's a good combo itself. I mean, Earthshaker. Since they already banned out on Sand King, so Earthshaker itself, when RP is initiated by Magnus, RP represents reverse polarity by Magnus, which is the ulti itself. Earthshaker can just cast up, go in, and cast in the ulti itself, and initiate, you know, create lots of damage itself. This is gotta be huge. Or basically the other Team Impressive can just take advantage of it and cause a wall of illusions itself, and cause the vacuum right there. It depends on which one. And Team Impressive just gone on mid lane. They went with Akasha. So what we're looking at is that Bruno is gonna be with Weaver, and N6 nAra is gonna be with Rubik. Jaywalker is gonna be anti-mage right here, while Johnny is gonna be with Magnus. It's quite a catchy name, no? Johnny. Hey, Johnny. Right. Sorry, we kind of missed out on that. Right. Going back to the game. All right. Finishing up. Feng. Right. Feng is gonna go with Spectre for Team Impressive, while Mutu is gonna be with. It sounds like an Indian name, but it's okay. Right. Mutu is gonna be with Akasha right then in mid lane, right? With the Akasha. So I think I've just called out the wrong name, right? Mewtwo on Earthshaker, Jaywalker with Anti-Mage, Bruno with Weaver right there, Nara with Rubik, and Johnny with Magnus. So it should be nice, right? Very nice, everyone. Isabel with Shadow Demon, Ask KK with Jakira. Alright, here we go. So let's just have a little bit of fun before they start up. Announce Bastion, Mega Kill Bastion, Genuine Bella, the other ones are ugly, but it's okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to match D of the AMD DotA 2 Open Tournament 2013 between the match Impressive on the Radiant side, and we have on Dire side, we have nAra's sTacks. This should be interesting indeed. You know, it's like I'm making an assumption this is going to be interesting without looking at how the game is going to be, right? But looking through the drop, it should be interesting enough. Right, we have an impressive carry right here. We have Spectre, we have Anti-Mage, we have Magnus. It's gonna be wonderful. Good luck, have fun from Team Impressive.
Let's keep it clean, folks.
It's always good to have good, friendly, shake hands throughout chats. You know, good luck, have fun. Or it's just a courtesy to say that, you know, despite being gamers, you should have that kind of courtesy, the good vibes, get fun with the game rather than being too stressed out. You know, stress comes when you lose, but you know, you don't want to be stressed right now. Right, so let's just go through the drops, right? Knowing that how the game is going to proceed, Akasha is definitely going to be in mid versus with Magnus. Obviously, there's no other heroes, right? It wouldn't make sense if other heroes could do that, right? And offlane is definitely going to be Darkseer itself. Anti-Mage is going to be, it's either that offlane is going to be Weaver itself, or it can be Anti-Mage because Anti-Mage can just blink out. And then the tri-lane is obviously going to be Earthshaker and Rubik versus with Shadow Demon the Jakir. Should be interesting. So let's just have a look at the bottom lane itself. So bottom lane we have from the Radiant side, we'll just start up with Radiant side, right? Radiant side we have Spectre with Shadow Demon and Jakiro right here. And while on Dire side we have Weaver with Rubik. Nice set there, Rubik. I wish I had that. Alright, and Earthshaker right there. So basically, the one who's going to initiate a war, it's not going to be easy itself, knowing that, you know, when you initiate a war using Rubik itself, there's always a Shadow Demon right up in place. And mid lane, none other than Akasha versus Magnus right there. Being very aggressive indeed at early stage of the game, Akasha. And in top lane, so they decide not to send off Weaver in top lane, being in off lane. They decide to send Anti-Mage. So it's not going to be easy because there's an Iron Shell placed in the creep right there. So he needs to properly do this carefully, and Anti-Mage has the capability of doing it well because he can deny and take last hits easily. So the most interesting part will be the bottom lane itself, right? There's a stunner right here, and there's a lift coming up. We call it telekinesis. You know, it's caught. You know, say that, yo, telekinesis. No, but no, it's not gonna happen, right? Shadow Demon. Right, the idea is to catch up the proper kind of hero. The good idea is to catch Rubik maybe, or even Earthshaker. Because catching, right? Because catching a Weaver can just make a run for it unless they have the sending wards right there, man. So mid's very aggressive indeed. Akasha is being very aggressive indeed. He's trying to spam up every single mana that he has, trying to spam up all the poison dagger to his Magnus, and Magnus is just hoping to spam up on Shockwave itself. You can see both sides are really dried out of mana at the same time. And Magnus is still holding up real nice. Anti-Mage is having the time of his life in top lane. It doesn't seem to bother him at all, having Darkseer right there. Darkseer is just going to use it on the second hero itself. You can see that he plays in a second hero which is not being hit by any other creeps or creatures, so that, you know, the creature doesn't die and the Aeon Shell stays there. And bottom lane, not much engagement is going on. Jakiro is just on the lookout to ensure that no gank is going on. Anti-Mage is just relying back on one more healing staff of the game. And then Darkseer also has one healing staff right there, but he has a full health point right there, right? This is Akasha mid lane, should be interesting. Oh, that's dangerous enough. Magnus has a double damage right there. You don't want to get hit by that. So he's spamming off that shockwave. So it won't be that hard to get the last hit, especially when you have the double damage, unless Akash is denying right. And goes engagement in the bottom lane. See that Spectre is kind of stuck right here. He's almost a few hits away from dying. Oh my gosh! And first blood by Weaver. It seems that Feng just died off in lane.
First time for everything.
Spectre couldn't make a run for it.
Top tower, you know the drill.
A nice catch. And there goes the... Oh my gosh, it's being blocked right there. And there goes disruption on Jakira. Jakira needs to make a run for it. One more hit, two more hits. This is live tracking. This kind of games is making people worry from inside to the outside, right? And since the mid lane is all going on, it's only bottles from both sides, Magnus and Akasha. It's gonna be prolonging. It depends on which side is making a mistake right here. And Anti-Mage is still holding up in the top lane itself. He's trying his best to stay in the lane. He already has the poor man shield for survival. He doesn't have regeneration. Oh my gosh, Aeon Shield is chasing him. He needs to get the last hit. It's important, especially when you're having a hard time right here. He needs to make sure that he gets all those last hits properly. And Akasha's being very aggressive right here. He's positioning himself in the middle between the two ins. Alright. And bottom lane, quite a few engagements going on. And no problem with Shikuchi for the bottom lane. So we're just gonna have a look through the scores for both sides itself, alright? Game start, by backside, critical, speed minutes, right? Here's the deficits. So it seems that going on first place is obviously, since it's only one kill. Weaver is on first place. He was the one who initiated the kill on Spectre, so Spectre should be in the bottom of the list because he was the one who died, right? And game starts is also having, in terms of experience, it's all close to 0.
Dire's top tower's getting beat down.
Difference in goal earned, nothing much because it's only the start point of the game. So maybe the one leading will be nAra's because they had a kill. As it's that Weaver just killed out once again in the bottom lane, but this time they killed out Shadow Demon. So they tried to chase off on Weaver right here. Weaver goes down, and they have to chase off against Spectre. Spectre is making a run for it, but they can't chase him off because he's positioned inside the woods. So maybe Jakira trying to do an ice spot right here, maybe. And there goes Disruption. Soul Catcher right there, but he can't chase off because it's too dangerous. Magnus coming in. Ice Spot coming in. A few more hits. Jakira goes down. Here comes Akasha. He can't chase off against Magnus because Magnus already has that haste right there. So not sure what Weaver's doing right here. A miss on the skewer. It was too short. And Shadow Demon and Akasha managed to make a run for it. 6 minutes and 50 seconds of the game, almost to 7 minutes itself. nAra's is currently leading 3-2, a difference, a gap of 1. And a nice stun by Earthshaker hits off a Shadow Demon. 42. nAra's actually leading a gap of 2. And since Magnus is returning back into his mid lane. And he has no charges in his bottle. He needs to wait for the 8-minute count to get the... Because as you all know, runes are available every 2 minutes. So Anti-Mage, since he doesn't have the capability himself or farming nicely, he needs to ensure that he can deny and get those last hits nicely.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
And it's getting harder here in the Low Yat Plaza, not sure why. It can't be the haste. If it's the haste, I can't be seeing anyone here in the Low Yat Plaza itself. Because usually the news makes it sound like that bad for the haste. Right, seems I guess we're seeing normal, not much gauge going on. So in the bottom lane, we're still going on the mid lane. Akasha and Magnus still batting out. And Akasha, you need to be careful because comparing Magnus with Akasha, Magnus maybe has passed on the bottle to the courier. And Akasha already has enough charges there to perform in the lane. No problem right there. And bottom lane, Earthshaker just blocked off the path for Spectre. They can't chase off against Spectre, it's too far away. And there goes the Ice Bar right there, which hits on Rubik. Disruption right there, misses out because Disruption, oh my god. How can Sonic Wave miss? I mean, that was a wrong places of disruption right there. There goes a stun. Basically, Earthshaker's gonna go down. He was placed in the middle between 4 heroes, not sure what he was doing right there. He shouldn't be positioned going inside. Stun is enough. And that goes Shadow Demon by the Shikuchi coming from Weaver. Was that a mistake? Disruption by... I mean, like, if he didn't cast Disruption, that hero could have just died out from the Sonic Wave coming from Akash itself. But Shockwave didn't hit any heroes because he was disrupted by his own teammate, Shadow Demon. Misplacement right there. And Earthshaker mistakenly, despite even after that, Earthshaker went inside in between 4 heroes. And because basically if you go in like that, you can't save yourself. I mean, you're being a Rambo, like you're not freaking Sylvester Stallone, you know, you can't kill off 50 people just by yourself. Especially in the Dota game. Sorry. So Magnus is already done with the Arcane Boost in mid lane right there. Beautiful indeed. And Akasha going for boot. It has a null talisman right there with the magic wand. It's important to have magic wands for those who do play Dota 2. Some they know why. Right. See that Spectre's position in top lane this time. From the looks of it, he's going on with the face boots. And Anti-Mage is having no problem, despite just now he didn't have health regeneration itself. He already has a ring of health. So providing with 8, if I'm not mistaken, 5 health point regeneration in comparison to the ring of regeneration itself, provide 2. Right, quite a bit of advantage. So bottom lane.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
So quite interestingly, you can see that it's forced to be reckoned with, knowing that Earthshaker knows what he's doing. He's having proper placements of stuns right there. So he needs to make sure that, so Earthshaker, anytime now stun, he blocks off the way. My god, wrong stunning position right there. He blocked off behind Darkseer. So basically they can't hit Darkseer, even Shikuchi can't even hit because he needs to hit off the hero, but he blocked the way of his own teammates. But it's okay. And Akasha comes to the rescue to the bottom lane, trying to ensure that, you know, you don't go for more kills as well. And we're down to 11 minutes of the game, and currently nAra's sTacks is leading 5-4, just 1 kill gap. So not much of a game, and this is anyone's game right now. There's no clear definition of who's gonna win the game. And top lane, Anti-Mage is having the time of his life in the top lane. Nobody's disturbing him. He's like having a holiday on a Saturday, having an open tournament. Right? Nobody's bothering him. It's like he's playing a pop game, right? Not the kind of thing you want to do against a carry hero, right? There's only carry hero that serves its purpose in the game is either Anti-Mage, the Dire side, and well, Spectre or the Radiant side itself. So it depends on the performance of both heroes for the game. Right? A clear shockwave right there, getting to creeps in mid lane. In bottom we have Earthshaker and Rubik. So let us see. Rubik, despite not having an ulti himself, he's doing wondrous performance itself. Imagine he has an ulti himself. Imagine what kind of skill he would want to take. Let's just have a look. If I was lucky enough, I would take Akash's Blink, which would be wonderful enough. Because I can make a run for it. Oh my god, Rubik is damaged by the Eon Shell cover Darkseer, and even hit of a nice, I would say there's a nice placement of Iron Shell right there. Right, mid lane, these guys are making it boring for me. I mean, like, come on, I need some action going on. I need some skewers, I need some shockwave. Right, seems that Anti-Mage is not located in top lane anymore, so basically Spectre is just taking the way. He wants to farm too, you know. He's seeing that Anti-Mage is having the time of his life. He wants to do that too. But this time he's being backed up by Shadow Demon and Jakiro just in case. You don't want any gang to happen. And Spectre's already at level 6. Right, we'll just have a look at the last hits. It denies from both sides itself. Sees that Darkseer with Anti-Mage. They're having equality right here. Darkseer having 64 last hits and 1 deny. I'm not surprised in deny. Surely Anti-Mage is more because, you know, based on he's a melee hero. Right, I'm sorry about that. I think Darkseer is a melee hero too, but I think in comparison to attack speed and mobility for both sides, I think Anti-Mage has more denies, obviously.
Them dire buildings are tough as nails.
Alright, top lane, nothing much. Mid lane, this time that's an Earthshaker, there goes the Skewer, there goes RP, and down goes Akasha right there, coming from skills from Rubik. Not sure if Rubik stole any skill yet, no, he hasn't. He should. Alright, and that goes Vacuum and Aeon Shell by Darkseid bottom lane. I think that was a bit too much. He knows that he can't chase off against Weaver. I think he's just trying his best just to damage Weaver as much as he can, but I don't think it deals much because Weaver already has a Ring of Health. Alright, and the game is already at pause. Ladies and gentlemen of the Low Yat Plaza, welcome to the AMD DotA 2 Open Tournament brought to you by AMD and organized by eClub. If you can just have a look into the middle of the Low Yat Plaza itself on the ground floor, you're watching the match in between team. Let's have a look back at the records back, alright? We have a match in between Team Impressive, which is on my right, and we have Team nAra's on my left. You're not even sure which one is me, is mine, but it's okay, right? The one who's positioned closest to the escalator itself is actually nAra's, and the one a bit further from the escalator itself is from Team Impressive. So it's going to be an impressive battle because there's Team Impressive here. It should be impressive enough, right? Right, it's a nice battle to see because at the 40 minutes itself, nAra's is leading 6-4 against Team Impressive itself, with a gap of 2 kills, which is, I would say, it's like normal. You know, you would expect one team to have a little bit of advantage, but you wouldn't know. We'll see how it goes in the mid part of the game. So, coming back into the game itself, right? Anti-Mage back into farming in top lane once again, but this time he has a friend. Right, you know, he felt a bit lonely, so he decides to bring Rubik along. Rubik, hi. It's boring to farm alone, so you want to join him? Right, so mid lane, Akasha and Magnus, as always, right here. And since Anti-Mage is currently taking on the lane for the top lane, Spectre decides to go in bottom. So I'm like, you know what, Anti-Mage, you can just take the top lane. Now, bottom lane is gonna be mine. Right, and Darkseid tries to farm out using the Iron Shell command. Give me a sec.
Twitch. No. Explain.
Alright, my mistake right there for the streams, alright? Right, frame skip just dropped 13, so don't worry, toys, right?
Bottom tower seen better days.
Sorry, got a mistake right there. Alright, there goes the screw right there, RP. Wall of Illusions right there. A 2-to-1 trade-off. I thought it was in favor of Magnus as well. Magnus went down. So Darkseid trying to walk off right here, trying to kill off with Rubik. And Rubik goes down, there goes Dagger. Sorry, it wasn't Dagger, it's off, right? Scream Pain, a 3-to-2 trade-off in the top lane, but still nAra's is still leading 8-7, but Team Impressive managed to narrow down the gap by 1 kill. You see that the dive with the shockwave, the scope was insufficient enough to kill, and Darkseid is being very aggressive indeed, despite fighting against Anti-Mage, the way that he has meta burn and everything. He's still trying his best to farm up the lane, get it last hit properly nicely, and Anti-Mage is already done with Battle Fury, so that you should watch out because he's a force to be reckoned with, knowing that he can farm really well after having Battle Fury sold. Right, let's have a look at mid lane. Once again, Magnus and Akasha. It's like 2 lovers, but they're not in the same team. Right, and we don't see Spectre inside, and Anti-Mage is still on top lane, so maybe he's going on for the boots next. And he went up with Quilling Blade to ensure that he has higher damage for farming himself. It's gonna be quicker this time. It was quick before. It's gonna be quicker this time. And last hit nice. So we'll just have a look at the hero levels for everyone. So Darkseid and Akasha is level 11 with Weaver and Anti-Mage. And the current goal for both sides is Darkseid is going to be leading with 1.3k. So we're just going to close this one, alright. We're going to have a look to the experience gain for both sides, right? Knowing that nAra's is having that extra kill by gap of 1, but still they have more experience in terms of 1.8, which doesn't matter much. So this is 1.8k, right? Alright, that goes RP by Magnus, mid lane. A nice job by there, Magnus. Rubik combo. A good placement, Magnus. You can know that why his placement is really that nice because he has that Blink Dagger as well. Shockwave, Blink Dagger, RP, and score them back into the tower itself. Job all done right there. Should be careful because they haven't done the Magnus Earthshaker combo yet. And we still, and knowing that after all that is done, and since Anti-Mage already has the Battlefield itself, they can cleaving damage even more after Magnus gives out the skill of Empower. This is not going to be looking good for the other side, right? So indeed, after having a BKB, it might be in favor of Team nAra's stacks, right? We're not sure yet. We still don't. We still have a lot of things under the sleeves of Team Impressive. And for those who do not know, ASF, DSF is actually Team Impressive.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Well, top lane, Anti-Mage is doing well, even well than before. No, before he was doing good, now he's doing well. And it's even better, having a Battlefield. And he is almost done with his own face boot right there. You know he has that in, and he's already done with it. And continue back in mid lane. Akasha, once again, with Aeon Shell right there. Not sure if he can farm off. Oh my gosh, a missed core right there. Akasha didn't even blink. He was just walking like a baby. And he managed to make a run for it. And Magnus goes down. Poison Dagger Disruption by Shadow Demon with Demonic Purge. Everything was laid down upon Magnus solo. 4v1, obviously Magnus went down. Not sure how Skua was a fail because Akasha didn't even try to blink out. He was just barely walking to the right and that's it. And it seems that this time Spectre made a run for it with TP. And Weaver is with Yasha already, so maybe he has a ring of health. Not sure what's going on with Next, but we'll just wait throughout the game. And Daxin in top lane. He is like a carry for the lane so right? He needs the money, he needs to serve his purpose. He already has the mechanism himself. He'll be serving as the proper support, a bit tanky kind of support in 1-5. Right, he maybe is going on with Vanguard later on because he has that stout shield right there. Very interesting indeed. And Spectre already has the Drum of Endurance right there with Magic Wand. So later on it's going to be impressive. We're still waiting for much engagement. So far it's only been ganking on a few heroes going on to the match. And Darkseid is very aggressive on usage for Aeon Shell right there. So despite seeing an anti-mage ready, he has no problem. And there goes RP. Eye spot right there. Magnus was unable to mess up. There goes the Skewer in. There goes Wall of Illusions. My god, this is chaotic. A 3-1 trade-off right here. Anti-Mage is down. Magnus is down himself as well as Rubik. And even Shadow Demon's down. And they took down a Shaker as well. Right, a 4-2 trade-off. And it seems that nAra's stacks and Team Impressive is now on a tie, 12-12, on the 1-minute mark. And there goes Ice Spot on Weaver itself. A 5-1, a 5-2 trade-off. And it seems that this time Team Impressive is in the lead with 1 kill gap. And Keons is making some trolling faces in the Twitch TV. Okay.
Dire's mid tower could use a little help.
Right, and I have to say with Akasha, QFP means that, Queen of Pala. And Akasha sounds more beautiful, You have to match the sexiness and the name at the same time. If not, it will not blend in. Right. I look at your game since this game is actually being played inside the mall itself. And Demonic Purge right there to its Weaver. Weaver goes down. Seems that the Orchid Malevolence coming from Akasha itself, silencing Weaver, so Weaver was unable to actually cause time lapse at the same time. So anti-mage makes a run for it with Blink. He has no problem making a run for it because basically he has the Blink effect. So he just needs to make sure that he doesn't die off in any kind of engagement with his match, so that he can survive and just blink out, and that's it. That's the end of it. And it seems like DotA is indeed serving his purpose for the game,
Can't do nothing about dire structures
using
right now.
using the end shell for pushing power itself. So it seems that this time Team Impressive is currently leading by 2 kills against nAra's sTacks. And more things to come. And sees that Magnus already has that Empower in hand, trying to get that last hit nicely right there. For some reason, they're very scared of DotA right there. He doesn't want to get hit by DotA, right? And for those who are watching throughout the Twitch TV itself, can't reveal much because basically we're streaming in the Low Yat Plaza itself, so we can't stream things which are obvious, which reveals the locations of heroes of the enemy teams itself towards the map. So we can only reveal stuff which are situated on the lane itself, so it'll be fair for both sides, so that they don't hear out whatever the plan is coming up. We can't reveal wards, can't reveal sentries, we can't reveal observers. So there are limited kind of stuff that should be revealed in the game itself as well, right? So for this, the kind of engagement going on is that hopefully in the game, DotA is currently dominating in terms of farming for Team Radiant. So we're just going to go through the difference in experience, and since nAra's is currently leading in the early stage of the game, towards mid game, Team Impressive made a comeback where they're now leading in terms of 2 kills, so difference in experience will be shifting towards the Team Impressive this side. And we'll just have a look through the difference in gold earned. But this point, nAra's still has more gold earned, 2,700 to be precise, extra in comparison to Team Impressive, right? And for those viewers who just joined into the Twitch TV, welcome. Team ASF right there on the top left itself is actually Team Impressive. And Team nAra's is actually, it's already stated there, so basically it is nAra's, it's no one else, right? So they're seeing an LVC in the lane. Weaver is trying to engage with Spectre right here, and it goes Ice Spot blocking off the path. And Shaker makes a blink dagger right there, and Akasha may be blinking once again.
Radiant's top tower's in bad shape. The Radiant got one last
This can be
top
anyone's
tower.
game right here.
Pain without
And anti-mage is still at the top lane itself. He already has the Vladimir, he already
Radiant's top
has the
tower
Battle
is
Fury,
taking hits.
and his changing power tracks based on time, so based on blinking, farming, and engaging in wars. So having so change from time to time depends on the situation itself. So Spectre, we're still waiting for Spectre to come up with a great item because he's been farming for quite some time and he hasn't came up with any items yet. So maybe he's waiting for a certain item he wants to take out right here. And Akasha, he should be careful with Akasha because he already has an Orchid of Malevolence, and with Ogre Club right there, he might be going for BKB
Mid tower won't last.
later on with Ogre Club. So there goes Vacuum right there.
Somebody's cooking.
Down goes Earthshaker real easy right there. Ice Path missing out on any heroes, didn't hit anyone. And we're still waiting on... Since Rubik has the Ice Path skill, should be interesting. So RP come from Magnus with Ice Path, should keep them in place just enough to kill them, especially with Empower in the hand. And we still don't have anti-mage in the war yet, so we don't know what's going to happen. Right? So the idea is there's a few AoE conditions going on throughout the game itself. It's either Darks is going to be costing the wall of illusions itself, and then doing the vacuum there, or they just gotta wait for RP itself, or take advantage of the RP that's going on and turn it into an advantage for the Radiant side itself, right? But it's too much of a gamble, knowing that, you know, it's not easy to actually, you know, knowing that you'll be RP'd right there, being stunned for a certain period of time, and knowing Ice Pass coming from Rubik right there, so you just make sure that you do not die in the process itself, you know? It's a good plan, but wouldn't work well if he died.
Dire's mid
It
tower
wouldn't work at all,
needs a
actually.
little help.
Right? And Magnus went in with dagger for no specific reasons, maybe, or he found out that there was no one there. Luckily, he didn't score in. That'll be funny enough.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. Dire's mid tower won't last much longer. The Dire are winning fortified their structures.
Alright, here we go. Earthshaker dies off right there. Wonderful, wonderful vacuum right there. Trying to kill off Magnus right now. And this time Sakasha's trying to kill off. Akasha might just die against Rubik right here. One more hit, Akasha goes down.
That hardly could at all.
And here we go. And Weaver has to make a run for this, and there goes Shadow Poison right here. He must not die from the Shadow Poison itself. Making a run for it. Does it hit? 2, still not enough. He's still making a run for it, just a bit more. And they can't make a change for, because basically, you know, not enough mobility, Shukuchi providing extra movement speed. Oh no, he's not making a run for it. TP right here.
The Dire couldn't hang
Luckily
on
enough
to
for
the tower.
Spectre, Weaver, he managed to make a run for it. So let's have a look to the items of Magnus itself. Magnus later on will definitely going for BKB. You can see that from the eClub position. So he has enough mana for bottles and arcade boots, so enough mana to actually spam up. That cleaving is beautiful, isn't it? So farming will be easy itself. And we're still waiting what will happen if that Empower is placed on anti-mage later on. So we're still waiting for anti-mage to return back into the lanes. Well, it seems that from being back into the game, it seems that it's kind of like a normal trend from time to time that the other team is, when the other team is leading, the other one tends to catch back, which is
The
good.
Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
So the kind of single catching from Shadow Demon might not work as well as they thought. So, but the thing is, the idea is to catch on anti-mage, which is really beautiful indeed. So let's have a look through the Weaver right here. Weaver already has the Mana Style and Ring of Health with Power Threads. So Mana Style is going to be her twin deal. And since Roshan's been killed by the Dire side, and instead they gave anti-mage to pick up the Aegis of the Immortal. So it seems that they're relying on anti-mage to keep staying in the war itself rather than Magnus, because you know RP doesn't just come out every time itself, right? And you can only rely on Mana Void just once. You don't need too many times. He's already sufficient enough dealing AoE. AoE, what was it? Kind of forgot about that. The damage itself, because it's not interrupted by any kind of magic resistance. So he's taking on the mid lane since that anti-mage. Rubik, I wish I had that Rubik set. It's kind of like the old set. So the riding, it seems that anti-mage, let's just have a look. Yes, anti-mage has that Empower right there. So he's having that extra cleaving damage. Faster farm. Not sure what Magnus was trying to do right there. He was diving in. So it seems that Team Radiant is being on his side of the map itself rather than going out. They're trying to be very passive right there compared to the early stage of the game itself, where Darkseid was being very aggressive into going onto lanes, trying to do vacuums, doing solos, knowing that he's very quite tanky, having the mechanism in hand, and he has the pipe on inside. And Spectre right there is already done with the Radiance. So the game should be interesting indeed. So that will explain why he didn't spend so much money before, because he was saving up to buy that Radiant result. So hopefully this will result in a game change result, right? But it wouldn't be much of a game change because basically Team Impressive was already leading before this. And here we go, and that goes the pull on, and down goes Spectre, easy right there. But still they got hit by the Radiance coming on from Spectre itself and from that skill. Alright, it's quite painful to feel the dispersion coming on. The radius is like up to 1,000.
Towers getting the business.
And that was only against one hero. Imagine what would happen if all of them were to engage at the same time.
Guess what's happening to Dire's bottom tower? Radiant's
So they're trying to
top
push in
tower
top
is
lane right here.
bad shape.
Anti-mage, Weaver with Magnus itself. And since Magnus really spanned off in the RP itself, reverse polarity, so they don't have any reverse polarity anymore. And he still has the Black King bar right there. He's only relying on Empower. He even gives Empower to his Weaver right there. Disruption to his Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage trying to chase off the enemy. He sees that Anti-Mage's mana is being burned by his own illusions. Well, it's not his own, it's his Shadow Demon's one, but you know, it's his own reflection. It's always hard to get burn mana, knowing that, you know, that's kind of results that you get.
Haste.
So being very passive, being very playing safe for the game itself. Akasha seems to be nowhere inside in lanes, and Anti-Mage is just sticking out to any kind of lanes which has free creeps, trying to farm up bit by bit. He's already done with Panther Style, with Battle Fury right there, and Weaver, you can see that in top lane. He is... Was it just me, or I did see Weaver with Radiance right there? But it's okay. Oh no, sorry, that was only a Spectre, so that was kind of a mistake, right? So hopefully if he had Radiance, it will be even better. Or maybe he doesn't need one because Spectre already has it, right? Sorry about that, right? So Anti-Mage roaming from mid to top to mid, back into neutral creeps, going back to the mid, back to neutral creeps again, and going back to the top lane. Have the Manta Style, so maybe all he needs is a Black King Mort just in case, to ensure that he stays in the game himself, because he doesn't have anyone from the other side to actually disable him, to ensure that Kasha doesn't cost Orchid itself, doing silence, to ensure that all the magic damage disruption come from dual breath, come from ice, but it doesn't interrupt Anti-Mage itself from the game, to ensure the win. Alright? So that you can see that Radiance coming on from Spectre right there. Still waiting that, playing it safe. There's an Anti-Mage come by another item himself. He has to keep one more sludge just for Town Portal, just in case, you know, anything would happen, because basically we don't see any heroes inside of the line itself, except for the Dark Seer right here, positioned at the bottom lane. So let's look to the Dark Seer's items.
Dire's bottom tower's getting the business.
So it seems that Team Dire is actually trying to push off in top lane. nAra's stacks, try to take out their tier 3 tower. No fortification left. No fortification. No fortification indeed. They're just letting that tower die down just like that. There goes the Wall of Illusions right there. Vacuum there. Ice Path in. Shockwave in. But Anti-Mage managed to make a run for it. Scoring in. It seems that Magnus only scored one hero, which is kind of sad. And the Black BKB still on. Gemma True side drop right here.
Tower's getting the business.
Anti-Mage is back to the game after the Aegis Immortal is already used up. And a 2-1 encounter. And seems that Team Impressive is currently leading in the 36-minute mark. 20-16. The gap of 4 kills. Quite good indeed. So this decided to retreat off of the game rather than taking advantage of it. He almost tried to rack the top barracks come from Team Radiant. But not sure why. Magnus could have done even better if he RP'd and catch more heroes rather than just catching one. But actually it was already good enough. Alright, as you can see in the top lanes, if you have a look at it, the Spectre is already done with the Diffusal Blade. So whatever he casts, the ulti, the haunt itself. So every single hero will be having some mana burn. So that will be very painful, because usually engagements, you really need those mana itself. Or even after engagement, you don't know what's going to happen. You need sufficient mana to run away. You need sufficient mana to even kill. You need sufficient mana to even, you know, make engagements and then blink in, blink out, custom skill ulti. Especially when you know that your ulti spends a lot of mana. You'll be fighting when you found out that, oh my gosh, I didn't have no mana to cast it off. Right? So bottom, here we go. So Earthshaker just blocked off the way and gave the chance to Spectre to make a run for it. That was kind of like the wrong kind of block that would happen. If he blocked in front, I don't think that Spectre would have made a run for it. If only Earthshaker would have blocked it properly. There goes BKB by Weaver itself. And there goes the RP chasing out. They're trying to take Spectre right there. And down goes Spectre. Queen of Fate just brought back to the game and Spectre goes down. BKB is still on for Magnus, but despite having BKB, he is still down. Poison Dagger right there by QFB. Disruption right there. He disrupted, but the Ice Path misses out because Disruption was cut by Anti-Mage. There was a miss. And Anti-Mage goes down. He didn't have enough mana to even blink out. He was burned by his own illusions coming on from the Shadow Demon's Disruption. So it was a good decision for QOP to even buy back to the game, to engage back in the war. And so at the 3-2 from 2016, Team Impressive is currently leading with 5 kill gap compared to 4 just now, 23-18. A 3-2 trade-off right there. They're trying to take off the tier 2 coming from bottom lane, and there goes the fortification bottom lane. Trying to clear it out with dual breath. And down goes tier 2 in the bottom lane itself. As it's a mid lane while they were pushing. Weaver was trying to push off in mid lane but failed off to take off the tower. And we can see here in the bottom lane is a Earthshaker. Already has the Blink Dagger a few minutes ago, but still. And has an Arcane Boots. Maybe he's waiting out for other attacks. Because we know that at this point of the game, 29 minutes, I don't think that Dagger itself is sufficient enough to give the win. But unless they're going to rely much on Magnus' positioning of skills as well as Anti-Mage's durability to perform in the game itself. And hopefully Rubik's skills will be sufficient to give them the win. Right? Especially coming from Swarm, from Weaver, because in times of engagement wars, you don't have time to actually kill off the Swarm. You need to focus on killing off the enemy heroes itself. So it's either like, it's kind of like a burden. If you do not kill off the Swarm, the Swarm will keep attacking. But if you don't kill off the hero, they will keep attacking itself. But the idea is to kill off the heroes so that we get to deal even more damage. But knowing that the Swarm is still keep attacking you at the same time, and especially when the Swarm is hitting off 5 heroes, it's also advantages for Weaver itself, right? And again, they can see Empower right there, but oh my gosh, a miss on RP right there. Magnus, he went in Dagger and RP didn't even hit one hero. There was freaking 4 heroes right there and then missed out on a single hero, right? Maybe the Dagger in was too short. Darkseer managed to make a run away. Maybe it was like a proper timing of having that running surge. This is not looking good for nAra's sTacks right here because the forcing power, the proper positioning, we can see the Magnus is not doing proper positions of the reverse polarity itself. Even Skurus didn't try and hit off more than one hero itself. So hopefully it will be better next time, right? The second tier 2 tower coming from the Dire side is already gone. So as you can see the lane itself, it seems that Magnus is having that Oblivion staff. You know what that means? He's going on for Refresher. It'll be weird, or it might just be trolling. He's going for Arcane Malevolence. I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but it's impossible, right? And coming back to the game, that we can see that seems pretty quiet until lane itself is waiting. And there goes the sound. It seems that Roshan, that wasn't the sound of Roshan dying, but it's okay, right? And down goes Darkseer, Shadow Demon right there. They were trying to do again right there, but it was a big fail. And so they're trying to take down on Anti-Mage's illusions right there. And there goes ulti cover Jakira. Jakira might be going down this time. 4 staff in. Last hero down. 5-1 trade-off with Magnus down by 1. So they're trying to take this Roshan right now. My gosh! That's not gonna come out in War Dota, definitely, right? But we'll try and hide this replay. Darkseer is gonna have the time of his life watching that replay back with Wall of Illusions killing off Earthshaker. But it's okay, they still have the, you know. My gosh.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
that was like I wouldn't say it was epic, you know, if it was awesome. Like it was an awesome epic feel. It was funny that, you know, I didn't expect Roshan to hit that much damage. That will explain much. And they're trying to Rex up the top lane right here. It seems that nAra's actually going directly to hit off on the melee barracks. They're going for melee barracks later, maybe not. Try to play it safe. So one melee barracks is down. A quick in and out right there. So let's just have a look. I kind of forgot who got the Aegis model. Ah, it's Weaver. Alright, that's wonderful indeed. I wish it was anti-mage, you know. It's not that easy to have anti-mage in the game. Alright, Team Radiant has to be pretty careful right here, because basically knowing that these guys are very tricky indeed. Hopefully this song will be seeing a proper reverse polarity by Magnus himself. He kind of missed out on a few times already in the match, and he can't afford to do that again and again, because basically this is a tournament and they really need to win it, because this is basically the first match and they really need to make it a win. And hopefully the team from this time, the initiation come from which team, it depends, right? Just now engagements was done by the Radiant side, but it kind of backfired. So we'll be expecting BO1 DotA Funny to happen next week. By Dux is gonna be, it'll be funny indeed to see, right? So the game is currently in the 45 minutes of the game, and it's quite tight between both sides. It's only 25-24, where it's only just a 1 kill lead by Team Impressive, where ASF DSF is actually 1 kill lead.
Radiant's bottom tower ain't pretty sight right now. There goes Radiant's bottom tower.
And since this time they're trying to push off in the bottom lane itself, you can see that anti-mage being very aggressive right there. Oh my gosh, anti-mage just blinking just for the sake of hitting off the tower itself. Hit off tower, I don't care about your illusions, I'm just gonna hit off the tower, I don't care. Just go on in, go on in. They're trying to fan out as much as they can, relying on Jakirio's Ice Path and Dual Breath to clear out the creeps. Scream of Pain by the Kasha itself, hopefully this can become a game changer itself. They're still waiting for the proper time itself, and Magnus is still not done with the refresher yet. It'll be nice if he has one. But actually he needs to make sure that the first RP itself is well positioned, but if not, it'll be a fails off. And since he already has a Black King bar right there, my gosh, a fast, quick disruption right there. Darkseer goes down. He was caught off too quick. The moment he went out from the lane itself, he was cut out. A double buyback right here. Darkseer buys back into the game. Make a kill. And try to chase off Akasha. Akasha goes down. For 3-0. One more, 4-0. They're still waiting for Spectre one more, and I don't think Spectre can fan off the base alone, and Akasha buys back. Jakirio buys back. They need to fan off this base, if not it'll be GG. One more buyback. We'll just have a look at the buyback status from inside. Aegis Immortal right there by Weaver. Weaver goes in, trying to hit off on Jakirio. Jakirio forcing himself out, trying to chase off on Disruption on himself. Shadow Demon. My gosh, good timing by Magnus right there. Finally, good shockwave hitting off on Shadow Demon. So they need to break the barracks in the bottom lane right here.
It's done.
Break. They're not even trying to break, they're trying to find it off. Dalgo done with the racks in the bottom lane. They had to retreat right now, or they're just gonna go offensive and go on with the next one. Or maybe they're going on with mid. Yes, they're going with mid. Anti-mage opening Mantle Star right here, hitting on the tower, hitting. Going out with the melee barracks, tier 3 is down in mid lane. There goes Ice Path, Dual Breath right here. No ulti by Jakirio. There goes the ulti, which doesn't hit off on anything, which I shouldn't be saying, but it's okay. Right, go come right there. There goes BKB by anti-mage right here. He doesn't care. He's just gonna keep hitting Spectre is being forced outside, and there goes Wall of Illusions. Oh my gosh.
Radiant's mid tower is getting banged up.
Magnus goes down. A wonderful Wall of Illusions right there, but still insufficient enough to kill off anti-mage. He needs to make a run for it. Rubik making a run for it. Run, run. Anti-Mage coming in this time, trying to hit off. And this time who's gonna go down? Is it Anti-Mage? Anti-Mage goes down and Darkseer is still safe. And down goes Shaker this time, 4-1. Weaver. What the heck's Weaver? Alright. Oh, Weaver chased off on Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon's down. So not sure if he's just gonna go on for the kill this time or he's just gonna make a run for it. A 4-2 trade-off. Weaver still makes it in time. So it was a good buyback. They didn't manage to fan off the bottom lane itself. It was still racks, but despite all that, they managed to fan off the mid lane. If not, it will cut GG. There's still one tower left. It's actually the range barriers in the mid lane. So the idea is Team Radiant from Team Impressive needs to fan off both lanes to ensure that because if not, they can just blink in and just hit off the range barracks and just go in for the win itself, alright? So this is not going to be easy itself. You need to fan off 2 lanes, which is from bottom and from the top itself, and you know that the push is going to come on from the mid lane itself, or it's just going to go, stealth mode at one point, alright? So knowing that it's a Rex, you need to at least, from a team's point of view, you need to at least push it at least halfway through the map itself, alright? To ensure that it's long enough for you to actually push out and may give the win. If not, it will be GG directly. Or you can just take the advantage of just waiting for the right time to kill off the enemy heroes and then make push and ensure that the push gives you a win rather than them going back into the game and then finding off the game, right? So the either team nAra's can just take it easy right now and ensure that their buybacks are back on, so that if anything happens, it can serve as an insurance itself. And the only one who has a buyback right now is only Anti-Mage with Shaker. And both of them are from the dark side, nAra's stacks. So things are not looking good for the Radiant side right now. So we can have a look at Darkseer right now. After all that long farming and everything, now he's with the boots of travel and the mystic staff. I mean, it might be just a bit too late, or maybe for him to finish off those items stuff, knowing that the other teams is doing very good stuff in terms of performance stuff. Right? And Anti-Mage, he's already done with the Black King board just now, as we know. He has the mana stall, and since he'll be getting Empower come from back to himself, he's a force to be reckoned with. It's not going to be easy to clear off, especially when he has Black King bar. So he can deal damage as much as he can, and away from the stun coming from back to himself, from Reaper's Polarity, because no matter what kind of item you have, no matter if you have a Rage from Knights or even a Black King bar, no matter how kind of vulnerability you have towards any immune magic, RP will still stun you and absorb you into its area itself, because it has been tried and it's been proven itself. You can just check on the Mythbusters for Dota itself, it's already proven. And this is not gonna look good. So basically, Black King bar is not gonna be helpful when you get hit by the Reverse Polarity itself, right? You will still get stunned, but you won't get damaged by RP itself. Sorry, a bit of explanation itself, right? So they need to try to fan off and defend the range barracks in the mid lane right here. Here goes Anti-Mage, he tried to chase off on Darkseer right there. And here we go, and still trying to, and there goes the Man of Void. Anti-Mage blinking out, he has that Black King bar, he's not worried at all. Finally, a good dive. I'm not sure whether it's a good dive. He only managed to chase off Shadow Demon, but it's okay, it's efficient enough. Who is he taking out right here? And down goes buyback on Anti-Mage, chasing off Spectre right here. Rubik is safe, and is safe. They need to push a bit more. What is Magnus doing? And there goes GG. Called out by Team Impressive. Seems that the winner for match D for the AMD DotA 2 tournament 2013 goes to Team nAra's, who will be going on to the semi-final 2 versus Low Yat esports. And so afterwards we'll be having the match in between. We'll be having a match in between. I'm sorry, I have to look back into here, right? We're having a match in between Space Monkeys versus Fishball on the semi-finals 1 right after this. We'll be back in a few more minutes. After this thing's died up. Right, thank you very much guys for finishing up, right? So that marks the end of the match for match D in between Impressive versus nAra's. So my name is FLAVA, so stay tuned for more Dota 2 actions, and we'll be right back with Team Space Monkeys and Fishball for the semi-finals 1, alright? Thank you very much, and goodbye.